Okay. We are live on the tube. We are live. Hi guys. Hello. Hello YouTube. YouTube. Hey Glenn. And okay, I'm gonna go live on Instagram. Oh, that's a photo. That's not live. Okay. All right. So, you guys are in for a treat tonight. Myself and this fella, where's his? Him. Owen are going to be co-teaching again. So we're going to be doing yoga and Budokan. We'll start in a couple of minutes. Make sure that you've got an area that's non-slip. You can use a mat. You can get some blocks. If you don't have blocks, books, maybe blankets, cushions, whatever works. Yeah, we'll start in a minute or two. I'll be teaching the first bit. Owen jumps in. You guys will be challenged because it's something different. Budokan. It's good. It's a great fun thing. And then I'll take us out. So, welcome. Let me turn comments off on Instagram. If it stops working, go over to YouTube. Look for MJ Travers. The link is in my bio as well on YouTube. No, on Instagram. Doing good. Okay, so if you've got really, really tight quads, get a strap. Blocks, bolster, blanket. If you've got sensitive knees, just have everything nearby. It's kind of handy to have anyway. And I want to call you guys the Three Musketeers. With us here today.
What do we call you?
I don't know.
Ended.
Yeah. Scott, Charlie, Owen. Do you like Charlie or Charles?
Charlie.
Like Charlie, okay. Charlie's got a sore ankle right now. So if you're watching anyone, don't watch him. Unless you've got a sore ankle, then you'll be following what he does. Unless you want to just watch him. Okay, all right, let's begin. We're starting in a seated position today. So we are going to start in a hero's pose. If this is not suitable for you, I'm going to turn to the side so you can sort of see what it looks like from the side. You're going to grab props to sit up on. So the feet are going to be wide, knees together. Sit on something in between the heels if you need to lift your pelvis up. So maybe turning the block on its medium side. You can sit on multiple blocks that have the feet outside of the hips. Make sure that you're not sitting on the heels. If you've got really big calves, you'll roll the ankles out and you'll sit the hips down inside the heels again. And then the toes point straight back. Squeeze the knees together. Hands can come on the thighs. If you want to start to stretch a little more, like if this is something that is easy for you, you might bring the hands back behind you, coming down onto the forearms, or you might come all the way down onto the ground. So if your knees don't come together, that's okay. It's not a bad thing. Just have them as close together as you can. So this is more internal rotation that we're trying to get going with the legs. Normally that's something that, especially males, lose faster than females. So inner thighs roll down. The calves will roll out just to make space if they're tight. If it is intense, sit up, lift your bum up. Close the eyes wherever you are. The hands might be on the legs, on the feet, out beside you if you're lying all the way back or lying back on props. As you close the eyes, breathe. If you practice with Ujjayi breath, you might start to incorporate that in the practice now. That's dragging the air in and out of the nose. And think of using the whisper muscles. You'll pull the air to the back of the skull, like you're widening at the epiglottis. Drag it in and out. Sit up higher. So put 2 blocks there, so your bum's way off the head. Okay. Take a couple more breaths. If you do have an injury and this doesn't work, one leg can go straight forwards and just do a half heroes pose. So if you need, just do the half leg. Okay? Yeah. And breathe. Keep breathing in and out. Breathe down into the lower abdomen. So the previous class, we were talking about the breath down just above the pelvis at the low back, low waist. Breathe in as you inhale fully. You still feel it? Don't go backwards. Okay. Breathe out, tone the ribs in, the navel in. It's almost like you're pulling the pelvic floor up. Continue that. As you inhale, the body expands outwards, making space for the lungs to fill. The diaphragm's moving 360 degrees. Exhale, tone it in as you bring the air out of the body, forcing it out in a smooth way. Couple more breaths, slowly dragging it in and out. One more, breathe in fully and breathe out completely. If you're all the way down, bring your hands to your feet, elbows pressed down. You'll then push yourself one arm up at a time. Let's bring the hands down to the ground, step back to downward facing dog, straight into it. Moving the legs, you can bend one knee, then the other. Take as wide of a stance as you need. You might move the pelvis around. You might move the arms and the head around if that feels better. Pivot the feet side to side if that's comfortable. Take a couple more breaths here. Start to pull the hips back away from the wrists, turning on the thighs so the quad's really working to lengthen the spine. Take another full breath in and a full breath out. Bring the left foot a little closer to the center of the mat. Inhale, lift the right leg straight up to the sky. On the exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Stay here, lift the right foot straight up to the sky with the hip open. Keep pulling the left hip back. And then slowly lean forward, step the right foot outside the right wrist. Just waiting for the noise to go. Lower the back knee to the ground. So you can stay here on the palms. You're welcome to come down to the forearms or maybe walk the hands out in front of you. Whatever feels comfortable. If you'd like this to be more of an active stretch, you might keep the back toes untucked and just lift the knee, or you might tuck the toes forwards and then lift the knee. Make sure that your right heel bone is just in front of the right knee. Take another full breath in. And then come up onto the palms for the exhale. So from here, inhale, turn the right foot out to the side. And then turn the right foot back forwards. Now, if you need the back knee off the ground for this, you can. Again, turn the right foot out to the right side, so the toes turn out. Turn the right toes forwards. Do that again, turn the toes out to the side, but this time come onto the knife edge of the foot if you can, so it's like you're rolling the knee open, and then toes forwards again. Now here you might need to come up onto a block or whatever works for you. You may need a strap. Lift your right arm straight up to the sky, and reach the right hand towards the back of the foot. Now from here, keep the right knee pointed forwards, the right big toe mound presses down, lift the left foot off the ground. If you need a strap, you'll hook it around the foot, otherwise your hand will grab the baby toe side of the foot. If you have the space, you're welcome to come down onto your forearm. Think of kicking the foot back as at the same time you're pulling the foot in. Pull the shoulders back, keep the right knee pointed forwards. Kick the left foot back just a little harder as you pull it in a little closer to the glute. Now, can you keep the foot there? Release the hand, like you're pulling the hamstring up. It should feel like it's cramping. Lift the right hand back up to the sky. Release the hand and foot down to the ground. Whew. Lift up off the back knee. And then let's step forwards into a frog squat. Left foot outside the left wrist. Hands to heart, elbows to knees, little space side to side if that feels all right. Make sure your heels are on the ground. So if the heels are lifted, put blocks, blankets, whatever you need. You can roll your mat up behind you and tuck that under the heels, or you can lift the hips a bit higher or walk the feet even wider. Notice what is going to help you best here. Take a full inhale. Lift the arms either forwards or up to the sky. Pull the knees apart. Full exhale breath. So I've done this a little bit. Hug your butt cheeks in. Let's stand up for 3. Push the knees out. 2, 1. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, let's go back down. Push the knees out. Bum down. 3, 2, 1. Let's stay here for the inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Tip the hips up, head down, turn toes forwards. Let's bend our right knee a lot. Just pivot the body around. Think of the pelvis moving around the left upper thigh bone. Let's do the opposite. Bend the left knee a lot. And then just pivot the pelvis around again. You can have your hands on props here if you need some support. Bend both knees and very slowly begin to roll the spine up to a standing position. The head comes up last. Inhale, lift the arms straight up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Bring the feet to a hip width position and close the eyes. So think of your head being on top of your heel bone. So if you need to take a little sway side to side to find the center plumb line of the body. Thigh bones push back, tailbone reaches down. So we're standing up nice and tall and strong. As you close the eyes, for a second, I'd like you to think, what are you grateful for right now? The internal, external, what are you grateful for? And then open the eyes. Inhale, lift the arms straight up to the sky. They can either come out to the side or straight up in front. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Lift the chest, send the tailbone down towards the heels. Inhale, arms lift straight back up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees, tip forwards and down. Inhale, lift halfway. Fingers are either on the shins, the ground, or blocks. Lift the hamstrings up, lean forwards. And exhale, step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Lower the back knee. Either toes tucked or untucked, inhale, crescent moon. Pull the pelvis back so it's on top of the left knee, right hip wraps down. Exhale, goalpost the arms, lift the chest. Good, inhale, arms back up to the sky. Exhale, grab the blocks, we'll take a half split pose. Right heel down, toes flex to the face. Blocks will be underneath the shoulders. You can move around a little bit here if you don't need the blocks. If it's easy for the hands to come to the ground without you rounding, then be on the fingers or the fingertips. Okay, you can work a little further towards a full splits if you have a full splits and you feel warm enough. Take another 3 breaths. Again, this is just like a bit of exploration, just feeling where the body's at, where the hamstrings at. More. One more full inhale. Let's come back to that lunge position. Bend the front knee, lift the back knee. So press the hands into the ground or the blocks. Inhale, knee to nose. Stay forwards, pull the knee in towards the chest. Press the left thigh towards the sky. Inhale, right leg straight up and back to the sky. On the exhale, bend the knee. We'll either stay here and just start to open the hip, or maybe move into a flip dog, bringing the right foot to the left side, pushing the hips up, reaching the right arm back. Coming onto the very left side edge, the lateral edge of the left foot. And exhale, we'll make it back to a downward facing dog. Bring the right foot a little closer to the center. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, let's open the hip, bend the knee, reach the foot towards the right glute. Keep the right hip pulling back. Either stay here with the bent knee or straighten the left leg straight up to the sky. Keep the hip open. arm shift forwards, step the left foot outside the left wrist, lower the back knee, runner's lunge. Again, you can stay right here, you can come down to the forearms, use the blocks, whatever feels good for you. If you'd like it to be active, same options again. Either toes untucked, lift the back knee, it's a slightly different sensation, or toes tucked, lift the back knee. Take a few breaths again where we get to explore. Two more. One more full inhale. And full exhale. Come up onto the right palm. Inhale, pivot the left foot out to the side. Exhale, turn it forwards. So only go as far as it's comfortable. The body might move as well. Inhale, left foot out. Exhale, forwards. So this could be a modifier for a pose coming up later on. Inhale, foot out to the side. Exhale, forwards. Do one more. Inhale, foot out to the side, maybe coming onto the very edge, the lateral edge. And then turn the foot forwards. Then here the option again, come up onto a block if you need under the right hand. Make sure it's supporting you. Lift the left arm straight up to the sky. On the exhale, the left hand comes back. Now from here, think of lifting the right foot off the ground. If you can, just reach the hand back to grab the foot. Use a strap if you need, hook it around the foot, then start to create that resistance. Kick your foot back, pull your foot in. Cramps are so fun.
Well, feels like it's a cramp.
Yeah, this next part, that's a fun cramp. I was nearly there. Keep the left knee pointed forward, so hug it in as you push down into the left big toe. And now, cramp city fun. Lift the left hand up to the sky. Keep the right foot pulled into the glute. And slowly release the hand and foot at the same time. Oh, that felt awesome. Inhale, lift the back knee off the ground. And then exhale, we'll step the right foot outside the right wrist. Again, frog squat, same thing. Heels on the ground. So do what you need to do for them to be supported. Little sway if you need. This feels nice. Yeah. Option again for the arms to come forwards or up to the sky. We will either have the hands forwards as we lift now for 5, push the knees out. 4, hug your butt cheeks up. 3, 2, 1. We'll go down, lift up as you lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was fun.
You could do it holding people
Take
too.
a full breath in. Yeah. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to take Padangustasana. So peace fingers around the big toe. So go in between the second toe, under the big toe. Seal the circle with the thumbs. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale as we fold, elbows out, hamstrings lift. Lift the inner knees up to the inner groin. And push the weight forwards, pressing down into the ball point of the feet. Lengthen the front of the chest away from the pelvis. One more full exhale breath. Keep lifting the hamstrings all the way up. Pull them up to the sky. Keep the grip. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, release the hands. Keep the feet about hip width, bend the knees. Inhale, slowly roll up to a standing position. Arms lift to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti to here. Again, feet hip width. Close the eyes. Let's tune back into that thing that you were grateful for before. How does it make you feel? How do you feel when it's happening, when it's present, when it's here and now? I want you to bring those sensations, feelings, emotions up right now. Take another full inhale and full exhale. Open the eyes. Inhale, arms lift straight up to the sky. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Lift the chest. I think, again, lift out of the low spine. Tuck your bum down to the heels. Inhale, arms lift back up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees as you again lift the hamstrings up. Inhale, lift halfway. Fingers either on the ground or the shins, pull the chest forwards. Exhale, low lunge, step the right foot back. Lower the back knee, inhale, crescent moon. Back toes tucked or untucked, your choice. Again, pelvis on top of the right knee. Exhale, goalpost the arms. Again, tailbone down, left hip pulls back, chest lifts up, out of the pelvis. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, half split. Same thing, you might need to use your blocks here. Front leg straight. Pull the left hamstring back, right hip hugs in. You might stay still or move around. So again, explore. What does this side need? How does this side feel? If you need to lift yourself up again, if you're really rounded and you can't touch the ground, use your props if you have them to support you. If you don't, there's a couple of places I know that are selling them at wholesale price, so you can always get them really cheap right now. If you are going into the full splits, with just another few breaths here. How does this side feel compared to the opposite? What do you have to do that's different? One more full inhale. One more full exhale. Let's come back to that lunge position again. Bend the front knee, lift the back knee, plant the palms. Inhale, left knee to nose. Stay for the exhale breath. Push the right thigh harder to the sky. Inhale, left leg lifts all the way up to the sky. And now we'll bend the left knee. Either just stay here or start to pivot, bringing the left foot all the way over to the right side of the mat. You'll press the hips up. So the left foot's flat. You're on the knife edge of the right foot. Right shoulder rolls back. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back. Downward facing dog. Take an inhale breath. Then very, very slowly strike your heel ball toe. Walk your feet up towards your hands. If you need to come up onto your fingertips, you can. And at the top of the mat, let your head hang. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, arms lift straight up to the sky, mountain pose. Modified size. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms lift straight up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, bend down. Inhale, lift halfway. Stay in a halfway lift, either hands on the shins, back behind you is another option. So hug the hips. Inhale, we'll come all the way up, mountain pose. Here we'll add on. Bring the hands to heart, samasthiti to hip. Inhale, arms lift back up to the sky. Exhale, gold pose the arms. Pull the elbows back and down. Inhale, arms lift straight back up. Let's bring our left hand down, right arm up and over, so big side body stretch. Inhale, we'll lift back to the center. Exhale, right hand down, left arm over, press your hips to the left. Inhale, back up to the center. Exhale, bend the knees, tip all the way down. Inhale, lift halfway. Again, in a halfway lift, fingers might be on the shins, back behind you, or option arms forward, so really hugging the ribs up and in. Inhale, mountain pose. One more add-on. Exhale, gold pose the arms. Inhale, arms to the sky. Let's bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, arms lift straight up. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches over. Now here you have an option to cross your right foot over to the left side of the left foot. You keep pressing the hips to the right. You might stay. You might move the body around a little bit. You might do, I'm not sure what that is, some sort of ballet thing that Owen's doing. Pirouette. Yes. Take another full breath in. One more full exhale. Inhale, lift back to the center, release the feet. We'll take it to the other side. Right hand down, left arm come over, option to cross your left foot to the right side. So the way that the hips are pressing, you want that foot to cross over to increase the stretch line. Hopefully it feels good. Or the arm. Keep breathing. Think of your bum reaching down to the back of the heels. Take another full breath. One more full exhale. Inhale back up to the center. Exhale, fold forwards and down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, squat and curl. Let's come onto the tiptoes, bring the forehead into the knees and round the body forwards. Push the shins forwards and up. You're welcome to bring the forearms around the front of the shins, maybe even close the eyes. Now, if this is not in your practice, just take a forward fold here, standing forward fold. And then Owen and I are going to swap now. If you want to balance, that's another option, I guess. Not the way.
I'm on. I taught a little bit last week. I listened to it afterwards and realized that I talk really loud, so I'll try to keep it down a little bit. It was super.
On which one? Instagram? I'll take that.
Anyhow, so from that crouch and curl, go ahead and step back to the back of your mat. Come back to that hero's pose. Not really going to stay here for long. It's just the entry into the Budokan practice. So take your right hand, make an L with your thumb and forefinger, set it on the ground in front of you. Do the same thing with your left, make a diamond with your hands. Bow your forehead into your hands and say Os. Sit up, bring your hands to your thighs. Walk your hands out to the top of the tabletop position. In tabletop, hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Walk your hands for one more hand length. Tuck your toes, send your hips high into downward dog. As MJ was doing her practice, I realized that we're going to do a lot of the same things, which is pretty cool because there's going to be the Budokan variation on traditional yoga. Once MJ finishes getting undressed, I'll continue. Go ahead and send your right leg high into three-legged dog. In three-legged dog, check to make sure that you have a deadly point with your foot, meaning that your ball of your foot is pointed away while the toes are coming back toward your face. Make sure your hips are squared off the ground, the right and left are level. Shift up high onto your right toes, bend your right knees so your right foot comes down to your glutes. Bring your chin to your chest, push the ground away with your hands. This rounding in your upper back is called Cobra Hood. Go ahead and set your left foot down outside of your right foot for a low lunge. Plant your left hand down to the ground. Take your right hand and have it floating around in front of your right foot. Start to sweep your arm up into the sky, into an extended side angle. Turn both of your feet parallel to the sides of your mat. And I think this is where MJ was talking about the variation on a pose. If you can, go ahead and continue to sweep your arm all the way down and back to your leg for horizon. If you have tight hips, we'll sit here for a second. If you don't have tight hips, we'll sit here for a second. If you can't do this, find your own variation that feels good. I feel it right here, opening up. I'll continue to rub my butt a little bit more for the online crowd. Sweep your hand up to the sky. Turn your feet back to low lunge. Plant your right hand down to the ground. Lower your left foot down so that you have warrior 2 feet. And sweep your left hand high in the sky for extended side angle. Take an inhale breath and brace your core and rise to warrior 2. We don't talk about this a lot, but in warrior 2, your hips are actually supposed to be turned completely sideways. So go ahead and take your hands, put them on your hips, turn them completely sideways. This will bring your right knee around. Use your muscles to bring your right knee back around to the outside. Extend your hands in opposite directions. In Budokan, we do warrior 2 with our palms facing up because we're presenting a weapon. We're being attacked from this direction. We're going to initiate a double block. We're going to right hand up, left hand down. We kind of went through this last week, but right at about 12 and 6, you shift through horse to warrior 2 feet to the back of the mat. You take your hands, your forearms,
have them at an angle on top of each other. Slide them apart so you're blocking down and to the right, up and to the left. All your fingers are turned into a sword and turned in to defend yourself. In this situation, we, again, normally be blocking from here, but we're going to be shifting our gaze from the front of our mat up to our upper hand. Sweep your left hand back and down as you sweep your right hand up and forward. Shift into lunge feet. Let your left hand come resting on your right thigh and your right hand in the air for Exalted Warrior. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to settle in. You should be feeling a pretty good stretch in your hip flexor on the right side. Take an inhale breath, plant down into your left foot, and step forward into chair with airplane arms. If you notice you're now facing the opposite direction of your mat, this is going to turn into a mandala. Bring your hands up prayer in front of your face, bring your elbows together, bring your thumbs to your third eye. Inhale and rise to a third eye back. Squeeze or glutes to protect your back in any back bend. Exhale your hands from the heart all the way to the ground for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. In halfway lift, your spine is long and straight, parallel to the ground. Roll forward onto the balls of your feet. Exhale down to that forward fold, and then step back to the top of the plank. I'm going to go through something with you called rolling cobra. So go ahead and exhale your chest all the way down to the ground. All right. In rolling cobra, there's a thing that happens in your hips, and it's basically an anterior and posterior roll. Okay? So what's going to happen on the ground is you're going to tuck your toes, push your hips forward so that your knees slide forward a little bit. I'll look at my classroom to make sure that they're doing it okay. Untuck your toes to push the tops of your feet down into the ground, and then roll your tailbone forward to your belly button so that your belly starts to come to the ground, and then roll up. Nobody was getting it. So go ahead and shift back. Yep. Go ahead and go back to flat. All right. Tuck your toes. Shift your hips forward. Untuck your toes, and then hold on for a second. Okay. And then your hips are going to roll this way. There you go. So let that roll continue up through your spine as you straighten your arms. Okay. That's as far as that is going. All right. Let's check out what Charlie's got. Go ahead and lay on that down. Okay. You get the butt view. Go ahead and tuck your toes. Push your knees forward so that your knees come wide and your butt goes up. Your roll is going to be this way. So roll your hip, tailbone under toward your belly button. It starts here. All right. Roll this way. This move right here. There you go. Cool. All right. And if not everybody gets it today, believe me, it took a while to get this. Anyhow, you're an upward dog. Last week we went through rolling wave. The way that you roll out of this is you tuck your chin into your chest, send your hips high, shift up behind your toes, untuck one toe at a time into downward dog. Send that right leg back. Shift up high on your toes, bend your knee, bring your right knee in your chest, step down into low lunge. We did this a little bit last week. Turn both of your hands into fists. We're going to review. Draw your bow back with your right hand. Let your shoulders twist, stacking on top of each other. Inhale to rise to revolve archer. Release the bow. Let the arrow fly forward. Sweep your left hand back. Let your left heel drop down. Open up warrior two to the back of your mat. Initiate that double block. Let's see if you guys can do it smoother this time. Right hand up, left hand down. Shift warrior two to the front of your mat while blocking to the back. Warrior two to the back. You got it. It's okay. Cool. All right. So warrior two. We're in double block. Sorry. Totally lost. Okay. Then go ahead and reach back to your hip. Grab a knife. Extend toward the back of your mat. Shift warrior two to the back. Find that deep reaching warrior. Lower your right hand down. Sweep your left hand up and through the sky, following it all the way to the ground for a low lunge. Rotate onto the ball of your left foot. Send your right leg high in a three-legged dog. Lower your feet down to downward dog. Shift forward into plank. Exhale your chest all the way to the ground. And we get plenty of practice in that rolling cobra. So tuck your toes, push your knees forward, untuck your toes, roll that spine under. You continue to let the roll happen into upward dog. Tuck your chin into your chest, pushing through that cobra hood. Send your hips high, untuck one toe at a time, finding downward dog. Send your left leg high. Demi point, balanced hips, shift up high in your right toe, bend your left knee, bring your left knee into your chest, push into your cobra hood, gently step your left foot down on the ground for a low lunge. Plant your right hand on the ground. Take your left hand in front of your left foot, sweep it up through the sky, parallel your feet as you go past 12 and sit down in the horizon. We sat there first time, you should be feeling that stretch in your glute. If you have a variation you need to take, go for it. When you're ready, sweep that hand back up into the sky, planting your left hand down inside of your left foot, dropping your right heel down, coming into warrior 2 feet, setting your right foot, right hand high into extended side angle. Inhale to brace your core, rise into warrior 2. Again, turn those hips toward the side, bring that knee back around, extend your arms in both directions, present your weapon. Initiate the double block, left hand up, right hand down. This is what it looks like smoothly. Okay, walking down and to the right, up and down to the left, up and to the right. We're going to shift our gaze up, move your right hand back and down, left hand up, letting your right hand rest on your left thigh, shifting your feet and lunge. Inhale to reach up, exhale to settle in. Inhale to fill with air, plant down into your right foot, step forward in a chair with airplane arms. Bring your hands to prayer in front of your face, bring your elbows together, bring your thumbs to your third eye. Inhale, rise to a third eye back bend. Exhale, hands to the heart, all the way down to the ground for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to the top of plank. Exhale your chest all the way down to the ground. We're going to try for that cobra roll one more time. Again, toes are tucked. Push your knees forward. They go wide. Untuck your toes so you can press the tops of your feet down into the mat. You're going to roll your tailbone under toward your belly button and continue to let that roll go up through your spine, finding upward dog. Roll back to downward dog by tucking your chin into your chest, pushing through your cobra hood, sending your hips high, untucking one toe at a time, finding downward dog. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, step forward to low lunge. Turn both of your hands into fists. Draw that bow back with your left hand. Stack your shoulders. Find that twist through your spine. Inhale to rise to revolved archer. Release the bow with your left hand. Let the arrow fly forward. Sweep back with your right. Drop your right heel down, opening up into warrior 2. Initiate that double block. Left hand up, right hand down. Shift warrior 2. Feet to the back of the mat while you're blocking down into the left, up and to the right. All the fingers together as a knife turned in to block. Circle your left hand in, grab that knife from your hip, set it forward, shift warrior 2 back to the front of the mat, reaching in both directions. Keep reaching warrior. Lower your left hand down, look back at your right, watch it travel through the sky. Shift back into lunge feet. Send your left leg high. Bring both of your feet together. And just catch your breath here. Your foundation in downward dog is fingertips spread wide, pushing the ground away with your hands, letting your shoulders move away from your ears, sending your hips high, finding one line of energy from your fingertips to your scale bone. If your back is rounded, maybe your legs are too straight, bend your knees a little bit, get that back long and straight. And catch your breath. All right, we're going to do something kind of like what MJ was doing earlier. You're going to feel some of the same things there. Send that right leg high. Find that three-legged dog. Shift up high onto the ball of your left foot. Bring your knee into your chest. Plant down, ground down through your right foot. Rotate around on the ball of your left foot so that your foot is flat on the ground. Your toes are pointing away. Your heel is on the ground, and your right hip is on the ground. In martial arts, it's called the two-point base. Extend your right leg out and straight. Lower your hips down. And make sure that your right hand is on the ground in line with your left foot. We did this last week. It's called Warrior's Bridge. You're going to scan the horizon from right to left. Ground down through the knife edge of your left foot as you sweep back to find this side body stretch. not opening up toward the sky like falling, like flip dog, but in the side body stretch, warrior's bridge. Bend your elbow as you lower your hips down to the ground to protect your face. We're not going to like use the momentum for that. So we're going to reach across our body with our left hand, ground down through the ball of that left foot, rotate up into three-legged dog. We are going to flip this. So bend that knee, let your right leg scorpion out over to the right, gently setting down. And again, it should look like the same thing where your left hand is in line with your right foot. Scan the horizon from right to left, opening up into that side body stretch. Lowering down, protecting your face. This time you're going to reach across your body, grounding down into the ball of your left foot. Again, finding three-legged dog. And then step forward into low lunge. You may not be warm enough for this, but turn both of your feet. And if you can, lower yourself down into Skandasana on your right foot. If your Skandasana is you up on your toes with your support of your hand, then that's the way it is. Otherwise, if you can drop low, everybody's getting to the same spot. Extend your hands out in front of you. Gently set your butt down on the ground. Only because I've taught this before. I know it takes some people a couple seconds to get there. Again, place your left hand on the ground in line with your right foot. Scan the horizon from right to left. Ground down into the knife edge of your left foot, opening up into that side body stretch of warrior's bridge. Bend your elbow, lower your hips down. This time, bring that left hand in. You are going to reach back behind you and let the momentum carry you around to low lunge to the front of your mat. Go ahead and drop your left knee, untuck your toes, shift your weight back into a split leg stretch. We already did this with MJ, so we're not going to spend too much time here. But maybe you feel a little bit looser now. It's kind of a good gauge of what practice can do for you. Or just go straight into the splits like MJ. Why not? If you're in full splits, go ahead and slide that foot back so that your foot can plant on the ground. If you're in half split, plant your foot on the ground from the outside of your mat. Bring both of your elbows down to the ground for lizard stretch. And again, move those hips from side to side. This is the second time in practice. Maybe you feel a little bit looser. And again, because you've already been here, we're not going to stay here for too long. So go ahead and plant your hands on the ground. Tuck your left toes, slide them forward a little bit. Let them drop down into the ground. Straighten your front leg and find pyramid pose. With an inhale breath, lift to a halfway lift in pyramid. Bring your hands to your lower spine. I can't do reverse prayer, but I can set my hands on my lower back, finding that shoulder lift, finding that chest lift, and then roll your chest down to the ground, bend your knee, and then roll up one vertebrae at a time, finding a steeple grip overhead for warrior one. Now this is the fun part. This is the sword. We're going to swing it down and to the left. As we swing it down and to the left, again, we're shifting our feet, so our left foot, so it's pointing toward the back. But then we're going to slide our right foot more toward the back of the mat, so that as we continue to twist, our right knee is going to come directly into our right calf. We're going to sit into this, let go of our vine, and open up for a double block down in the seated position. This is called coiling dragon. We're going to uncoil from this by bringing our hands together like we're holding a chi ball, moving our feet back, warrior one, to the front of the mat with that steeple grip overhead, gaze high. This time we're going to coil again, but we're not going to bring our knee into the back of our calf. We're going to twist around and see how gently we can lower ourselves down to the ground into a seated position. Got it. Left foot is flat on the ground, left knee is up in the air. Go ahead and look at each other. Right knee
The
is.
modification for this is sit on a block.
Sit on the block. Yep, you got it. Release your mind, poke your right elbow outside of your left knee, plant your left hand behind you, and find a twist. When you inhale, you fill. With exhale, find a little bit deeper Your choice. Take one more inhale, one more exhale. Let yourself start to uncoil. See if you have the leg, foot, balance, strength, everything, to see if you can uncoil without using your hands. As you do, sweep your left hand on the ground in front of you as you point your right foot toward the front of your mat. It's like you're grabbing a sword. Lift it up, extend long with your left arm, back with your left leg, back with your right hand, but reaching in opposite directions. And then go ahead and gently step that foot down into Warrior Two. Open up through Warrior Two, back to that double block. Sweep that hand in, grab that knife from your hip. Shift Warrior Two to the front of your mat. Find that deep reaching warrior. Again, always look where you're striking, because that's where your opponent's at. Lower your right hand down, look up at your left hand, watch it travel through the sky. So your hand hits the ground. Shift back to the ball of your left foot. Send your right foot high for three-legged dog. With a straight leg, lower your foot down to meet your left. Shift forward. Exhale your chest all the way down to the ground. Keep your toes tucked. Shift your knees forward. Untuck your toes to push the tops of your feet down on the ground. Roll your tailbone under toward your belly button. Continue to let that roll come up through your spine into upward dog. Tuck your chin into your chest. Push the ground away through your cobra hood. Send your hips high. And tucking one toe at a time for downward dog. That was the right side. We'll go through the left side. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Round down to the ball of your right foot. Turn your foot away. Lift your right foot off the ground so that your right heel is down on the ground. Your toes are pointing away from you. You're in this solid 2-point base. Extend your leg out to the ground. Lower your hips down to the ground. Make sure that your left hand is in right with your left foot. Scan the horizon from right to left. Round down through the knife edge of your left foot, opening up into a side body stretch of Warrior's Bridge. Lower your hips, bend your elbow to protect your face. And again, we're just going to reach across our body. So take your hand down to the ground, rotate on the ball of your right foot, send your foot high for three-legged dog. Open up the left, scorpion your leg down. Again, see if you can set that left foot down in line with your right foot. Lower your hips, scan the horizon, open up into Warrior's Bridge. Lower your hips down. Reach across your body with your left hand this time, rolling around on the ball of your right foot. Send your right leg high into three-legged dog, stepping forward into low lunge. Rotate your feet so you find Skandasana to the front of your mat. And again, if your Skandasana is up on your toes with your hands supporting your cool, if it's down low, that's cool. No matter what, everybody's dropping down to the ground. Define the butt. Place your right hand on the ground in line with your left foot. Scan the horizon from left to right, right down through the knife edge of your right foot, opening up for Warrior's Bridge. Bend your elbow, protect your face as you lower your hips down. You are going to slide your right hand in a little bit, reach back and behind you with your left, and let that momentum carry you around to the front of the mat for low lunge. Drop that back knee, untuck that toe, shift the hips back for half splits. Again, we're not going to spend much time here, but last time MJ went straight into full split, so we'll give her the opportunity. Got to do things balanced. The reason why we use blocks is that a lot of people, they have to round their spine. If you can have a straight spine, you're like hands on the ground, cool. Otherwise, the blocks give you the ability to be a little bit taller, to have that straight spine, this straight leg, to find the stretch and the straight spine. So if your foot is stretched out, there you go. If you're in half splits, plant your left foot down to the ground, to the outside of your mat, and come to both of your knees, finding lizard stretch for just a second. I like to move my hips back and forth to see how I'm feeling. How everything's going. We're not going to spend much time here because we were already here before. So plant your hands to the ground, outside of your foot. Lift plant your right foot, slide it forward a little bit because you're going to drop the heel down into warrior 1 feet. You're going to straighten your left leg though, finding pyramid. If you need blocks here, cool. The next thing we're going to do is inhale to let our back be in a halfway lift with our palms on the opposite side or on the back. If you can do a reverse prayer, awesome. I don't have that flexibility. Take an inhale breath to fill with air. Exhale to roll down, put your hands on the ground, bend your knee, and then roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, finding that steeple grip. It's an awkward steeple grip.
So whatever way you normally grasp your hands together, grab them in the opposite way. This time we're going to sweep our sword down and to the right. We're going to go through that movement of our feet twisting. We're going to slide the left foot closer to our right so that as we sit down into this, our left knee is coming into our right calf. We're going to sit down, release our bind, and open up for a double block. Again, all fingers are in the sword mudra turned in to protect ourselves into coiling dragon. Uncoil from this by bringing your hands together to hold chi ball, rotating your feet back to the front of the mat and the warrior 1 feet with that awkward steeple grip. Sending your gaze high, hips squared off to the front of the mat. And then we're going to coil up 1 more time. This time we're not moving our feet. We're going to rotate around. We're going to see how gently we can lower ourselves down to sit on the ground without using our hands. We're going to hook our left hand into our left elbow into our right knee. Place your right hand behind you and find a twist. Again, every time you fill with air, it's hard to move, but every time you exhale, let yourself rotate a little bit more. And your eyes dictate your twist. So look as far as you can with every exhale. One more inhale to fill. One more exhale to twist a little bit more. Release your bind. And again, see if you can uncoil by just using your feet, not your hands. As you do, sweep your hand on the ground. With your right hand, plant your left foot down into the ground and forward, extending forward with your right hand, back with your right foot. Find that demi point, square off those hips, extend your right hand back so you're reaching in both directions. Take an inhale breath. Exhale to set your right foot back into warrior 2. Open up into warrior 2. Initiate that double block, left hand up, right hand down. See if you can smoothly lock down to the left, up and to the right with your warrior 2 feet to the back of your mat. Sweep that left hand in, grab that knife from your hip, plunge it forward as you shift warrior 2 feet to the front of the mat. Again, keep reaching warrior, striking in both directions. Lower your left hand down, look up, your right hand, travel through the sky, shift into a lunge feet, send your left leg high for 3-legged dog, lower it down to meet your lefts, shift forward to plank, exhale your chest all the way down to the ground. We have 1 more chance to practice rolling cobra. Tuck those toes, push your knees forward and wide, untuck your toes, push the tops of your feet into the ground, roll your tailbone under toward your belly button. Continue that roll up through your spine into upward dog. Roll back to downward dog by tucking your chin into your chest, sending your hips high, untucking 1 toe at a time for downward dog.
Here, from downward dog, we have a couple of options. If you have a jump through practice, put the blocks under your hands. If you don't really know what it is, if you've got blocks, I definitely suggest putting blocks under your hands. So you're going to come up onto your tiptoes, shift forward so your shoulders come over on top of the wrists, and then pull your knees into your chest, jump through. Jump through to a seat. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to do this a few times. So if you're super tight at the hips, you're going to cross the knees and try and suck them through, if that makes sense. Okay, use the blocks. If you need to turn them taller, you can. In downward facing dog, come up onto your tiptoes, lean forward, start to look forward, pull the knees through, maybe cross the ankles, jumping through to a seat. We're going to do it again. Downward dog. The more you do it, the more your body gets it. Okay, come up onto the tiptoes. Think of leaning through, Pull the chest forwards, pull the knees up through the chest, jump through. Cross the ankles if you need. We're going to do it one more time. So we don't want the blocks too far apart. So I'm just realizing all these things. It's easier when you're in a room with students and you can see. So make sure the blocks are wide enough just for the hips to fit through. They don't have to be too wide, okay? A little more. Yeah. So come onto the tiptoes, lean forwards, shoot the knees through, cross the ankles if you need. Yeah. Okay? And then that's what. Roll down onto our back. Lie all the way down. Hug the knees to the chest. Take a little rock side to side. If you want to go into a happy baby here, you're welcome to. It can be passive by just grabbing the knees. Or you can go into a full happy baby by grabbing the feet, the ankles, or the big toes. Knees are wide towards the underarms. Keep the head, shoulders, pelvis on the ground. Finger tilting the pelvis forwards and pulling the spine away from the pelvis. Shoulder heads pull back so you're really broadening at the collarbones. And then again, hug the knees to the chest. Bring the forehead all the way up into the knees. So squeeze into the tiniest little ball. We're now releasing to Shavasana, our resting pose. If you have props, put them under the back of the knees. So if you want to support the body, maybe put the blocks there, blankets, cushions, pillows, whatever you have to relax here. Let the eyes close and think of your entire body melting down. Let the breath now shallow. So let it come up into the chest, just like breath when you sleep. Relax the jaw. And tell yourself that you're right where you're meant to be. That you're in the most perfect place. As you allow yourself to fully and completely surrender here. Tell yourself that you are safe. You are secure. You are right where you're meant to be. Listen to the sounds where you are. What sounds are further away? What sounds are closer? Without labeling or judging any, notice how the sounds are. They are a little more pleasant, or maybe the opposite. Let them stay at that level without changing your state at all. Let yourself stay exactly as you are. Now, I highly suggest just staying here. If you've got things to do this evening and you have to get moving with the rest of your day, your evening, deepen your breath, move your body. Move slowly with the fingers, the toes, the wrists. Maybe take a stretch. Option to bring the knees in, maybe a little rock side to side. Roll over onto your non-dominant side. So we always normally have a side that we like to roll over onto. Roll onto the opposite side now. Just come into a fetal position, knees towards the chest. You're welcome to reach the arm up and let the head rest on the bicep. There's a little pillow. And if you've made it this far, I'd like you to observe how have things changed. What in the body, the mind, the energy layer, the emotional layer, what is now different for you right now? Can you take this into everything else that you have to do for today and tomorrow or further on? Can this state weave its way through everything else in your life? Whatever you have to do. Bring yourself up to a seated position. You're welcome to sit on props. The hands can be on the legs, the lap, the heart, over the heart, whatever feels best. And I feel like I'm driving a car, everyone's behind me. With the eyes now again open or closed, whatever feels best. Thank yourself for doing this, for taking the time, connecting mind, body, breath, really becoming present, becoming aware, maybe getting out of your comfort zone and trying new things. Hands now through breath, thumbs to the third eye as we bow in gratitude. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to stop Instagram so I don't lose it. And it'll be on YouTube at MJ Travers. It's in the bio if you guys need it. And yeah, I should have. Damn it. I can say it on here. Comment, subscribe, thumbs up. Thank you to Owen, to Charlie, to Scott. If you'd like to share this, please share it. Please share it out to people. Get them to subscribe. Yeah. Okay. Send a message, comment, anything. If you've got questions for these guys as well, I'll get the questions to them, please. Okay. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye. Happy Tuesday.